Welcome to the Mint Report, a wrap of the day's business news. Here are the top stories. Supreme Court clears the way for Ayodhya judgment. Asian Development Bank projects 8.7% growth next year. And Anil Ambani says RCom is back in talks to sell a stake in Infratel. We start with the Supreme Court's big decision. On Tuesday, it passed a simple order that threw out the petition asking for the Ayodhya judgment to be delayed. The special bench of the Allahabad High Court will now announce its judgment on the 30th. Tuesday's order has been welcomed by all the major parties to the Ayodhya dispute. These include organizations like the Muslim Personal Law Board and the Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha. Meanwhile, the Home Ministry is preparing for any potential fallout from the judgment. Besides deploying security personnel, it is keeping other forces in reserve. The ministry has also told state authorities to be on alert for trouble and will keep the ban on mass text messages in place until at least the 30th. And in other news, the Asian Development Bank expects growth across the continent to remain high next year. It's projecting India will grow at 8.7% for 2011. That's slightly higher than its projection for this year, which is 8.5%. China's story reverses that trend. ADB thinks it will grow at 9.1% in 2011 compared to 9.6% in 2010. And the government could rope in a major new investor for its proposed debt fund. The World Bank says it's looking at investing in the $11 billion fund that the government plans to set up next year. India wants to use the fund to finance local infrastructure projects. The World Bank is expected to lend between $15 and $20 billion to India's infrastructure sector over the next 5 years. In corporate news, Reliance Communications has resumed its efforts to sell off a stake in Infratel. On Tuesday, Chairman Anil Ambani said his company was talking to investors about a potential deal. RCom plans to sell a 26% stake in its Infratel Telecom Towers business. It had earlier tried to make a deal with GTL Infrastructure, but the two companies failed to come to an agreement. Meanwhile, Larsen & Toubro is looking for opportunities overseas. The company says it wants to build power plants and transmission lines in foreign countries. It's currently focusing on Malaysia and Indonesia. Just last week, Larsen & Toubro signed an agreement to collaborate in transmission and distribution in South Africa. And finally, Indian stocks ended in the red on Tuesday after 2 straight days of gains. The Sensex lost 13 points to close at 20,105 and the Nifty fell 6 to end at 6,030. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.